New business F. So personnel will become G then.
Correct?
And it's a project bid approval for the water well over here at Wiley.
Approve as amended.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda addition. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Ryan Schreibergle and Jill. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan, Rita, and Jill. Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, recognitions.
The first, we just came through the KSDE fiscal audit, and I think I'd written to you guys about this. Literally thousands of data points are turned in on that. You know. And Jamie Roberti, or I can't pronounce her last name, is our auditor, and she actually specifically gave a shout out to Kelly Tishner, Amy Wickward, Julie Nemechek, Sam Mesa, and Mike Davis for the level of specificity that they did in turning in the audits themselves. I mean, it is a daunting amount of data that gets turned in, and we came through with flying colors. In my report, I'll give you a little bit more detail about it, but it is a celebration that we have such quality people who do their jobs so well. And so you wouldn't want me doing that kind of work, right, Mike? But Mike and his crew do a great job.
All right, thank you. All right, we will move to financials, and Mike.
Okay. This month, I'll point out that, if you notice the reports are a little different, it's because we're in Skyward now. And so part of the report came out of the old system and part of it's out of the new system, so I just had to combine the data. And this was the easiest way I could think of doing it. So on page 1 of the warrants, the Frog Street English, $11,356.
I like your glasses, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's a little small writing on here. And then on page 2, High Plains Co-op, the categorical aid of $87,476. And then below that's JAG for the 24-25 payment to them, $12,750. And then on page 4, the total warrants, $405,002.88. And then page 5 is the revenue expense balance by fund, and all of our balances are in good shape. And then page 6 is the expenditure list. And then after that, the high school, middle school reports. So if you have any questions.
If there are no questions, I will entertain a motion to approve the financials at $405,002.88.
So moved.
Jill?
Second.
Casey? It's been moved and seconded to approve the financials. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, no, we have a public patron concern. At least it says one request. Is that a typo?
That's news to me, yeah.
We do not have a public patron concern, and we will move to administrative reports, and Dr. Meyer.
I've got a couple 5 things to talk to you about. I already alluded to or mentioned flat out. We had the fiscal audit. Like I said, it went very well. In the end, we gained 1.1 FTE. One of 3 things happens during the audit. You either lose, it remains the same, or you gain. Not very often does it stay the same, because once again, there's just so many details that have to be put in. So we gained 1.1 FTE, basically because of CTE hours, which is great. It comes in at just under $7,000 additional revenue for us. We don't have to republish because we had published originally enough budget authority to capture that. So we're good that way. But anytime we can get more, it's better than getting less. So that's a good thing. As Mike already made mention, the reports look different for you now because we're now working with Skyward. Like Robin told me this morning, that's a big old elephant to eat. Once again, we've been working on this thing since October and in earnest since January. And slowly but surely, progress is being made on this whole adjustment. Come July 1, MAP is getting unplugged anyway. There's nothing we can do about it. So our choice is to sit down and cry about it or move forward. And under the leadership of Mike, Robin, and Dolores, we're moving forward. And so we will be there. We'll be ready to roll. Bringing this up to you, this is an internal struggle for me philosophically. I'm somewhat opposed to this, but I do understand that society is where it is, and it's kind of like holding the water back with our hands. We're having more and more cell phone issues in our buildings, lack of student engagement, social media bullying, cyberbullying, that kind of thing that takes place. And so we're kicking around the idea of limiting that or doing away with cell phones. I'm philosophically opposed to that. I think we should be teaching people how to use things properly, but I just don't know that we can keep up with it. I just don't know. There's too many opportunities for nefarious and or just off-task behavior. This isn't something we'd just jump into tomorrow by any means, but it is something we're going to look at. We're gathering data from area districts. Scott County did a study on this about this time last year, and then the data they got back was the kids liked it, actually, and they did it in 3 classrooms, just in 3 classrooms. And there's better engagement. There are fewer feelings of angst because somebody didn't like my tweet or whatever the heck they do anymore. So we're looking at it. Down the road, where it could look like on any kind of policy work, we may leave it alone, do nothing, or come in with a variety of levels of prohibition on cell phone usage at school. Once again, the third time, I'm philosophically opposed to it because I think it's like prohibition. It didn't work. People found their way, right? But there has to be a greater good that we're trying to figure out on this. So we're not unique in this. It's a growing concern. And normally, like I said, let's teach them how to do it right. The problem is it's just too ubiquitous. It's just too available at all times. So that's in the very beginning stages. Graduation requirements for the class of 2028, that's next year's freshmen, go into effect. New requirement, we'll have the same 24 credits that we have. Jerry talked about this last month, but the freshmen, incoming freshmen, then every class thereafter, they need to have, for sure, a financial literacy course, which we're working on, trying to see what classes we currently offer. We'll check that box. And then they also have to get these 2 things called 2 post-secondary assets. And there's just a laundry list of potential things because every time we talk to the KSDE, they say, we'll get you more information later. It's coming. So the cake is not fully baked or the plane is not fully made. It's a pretty bad illusion given what happens with planes these days. But those 2 requirements are coming in, and so at some point in time we need to codify it and make sure that it's the law of the land here in Holcomb. Final thing, Garrett, step up please. Chiller update. When I wrote my notes earlier today, all I knew was not here yet, being tested today and or tomorrow, 10 states away. It's built in Pueblo, and then it must be up in Connecticut. I mean, 'cause they're not 10 states if you go west. You can count to about 10 if you go east, I think. So I was prepared to tell you, and if, that thing is supposed to be delivered back in December, remember? In December. And there was a cruel joke that said April 1, April Fools, And so, nope. Every time we talk to them, another week to 2 weeks out. So Garrett grabbed me right before the meeting, and he had finally got hold of 2 of the guys again, and here's the latest, greatest update. Garrett, tell them.
So today it went through its testing. It did not pass its testing on there. But with everything going on, Trane has decided they are going to give us a chiller to use for free. They are taking responsibility. It will be here on May 1st. No matter what, we will have a chiller by May 1st.
So if that's the way it plays, we'll have cool, chilled air for graduation. We'll pass out fans to everybody as they walk in. No, I mean, it sounds like the guy's pretty supplicant when you talk to him.
Yep. He's
yeah.
sending me all the paperwork, and he told us we need to get something figured out, and that's what he did for us.
I can't, Mike, do you remember, what was that per month when we did rent that? Like 12,000?
Yeah.
A lot of money. And so,
28,000 a month?
no, that's like 12,000 a month, I think. But then we had the whole kerfuffle over, the first one they didn't write in, that we'd have to pay for anything, and then the second one they did back in, remember in August. Seemingly, of course, I've got to read it when we get it.
Yep.
Right? This should come to us gratis. And I tell you,
So what's that mean? It doesn't pass the test and
well, when they built it, when they engineered the doggone thing, they put it as a dual power source. Now they make them a single power source. So they had to retrofit it 10 states away. And then after they get it all adjusted from a single power source to a double power source in the chiller itself, then they have to test it. It failed the test. Now, I don't know what that means, besides the fact it's not working.
we wait on another one in production.
Don't know. What do you say? You gonna try?
They are going to send it back to their guys that are working on it. That it's not moving anywhere. They're going to have those guys keep working on it at that location to get the wiring fixed up for dual power, then test it again. He didn't know the timeline on it, but he said it might still be here before because he's trying everything he can to keep us at the top of the list to get it fixed, get it going.
It's kind of amazing how $380,000 doesn't get you much anymore.
I think I'd almost push back on them there and say, what are you doing for us between now and May 1st? I mean, there needs to be.
Wishing and hoping. Well, when we get the paperwork, we'll get involved. I mean, when Garrett gave me this, because what I told him is if I don't hear something by the end of the week, I'll be making more demand statement type conversations. This time around, well, now that they're coming forward, they're coming toward us, but it doesn't stop us from saying, well, hold on a second. It's going to get hot here in April, too. So, anyway, thank you, Garrett.
The thing that worries me is it's going to get here finally, and it's going to be a lemon anyway.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm sure it'll be under warranty.
It better have like a lifetime warranty.
Get a good look at the T-bone.
Hopefully the mobile unit has passed inspection.
Yeah. Jeez. Goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't make this up. You really can't.
All right. We're now going to move back to Garrett for buildings and grounds.
The only thing was the well, which we're going to talk about that later, and nothing further.
Okay. Transportation.
Nothing further.
I'm extremely proud of Sam. I'm going to give him a shout out. We're always looking at everybody can grow. We can all get better at what we do. So Sam actually, his idea came to me with the concept of what if I put a message out to the principals and then through the AD and toward the coaches or anybody who uses transportation. Basically, the question is, how can I get better? How can we do this better? Sent that out. When you put that out, Sam? Yeah, Friday. He's gotten one response, which I did tell Sam, bring them to me. Let's read them together, because you got to take things with a grain of salt. But I'm proud of him. That is bearing his soul to the world, saying, "Hey, we just want to do things better." So good on you, Sam.
Yeah, and Sam, did you sleep in the office when you got back from Hayesville?
No.
No, but you probably could have.
Yeah, I wanted to, but my wife said, no, if you stay gone, I won't sleep, blah, blah, blah. But then she was mad at me the next day for keeping them up, so.
What'd you get in about 2 in the morning?
Something like that.
Hey. Okay, thank you, Sam. All right, let's move to food services. Monica.
The celebration there, though, is fully hired with the floater who fills in. Duh. Yeah. Didn't mean to curse it, Monica.
All right, technology. Julie. All right, let's move to the principals then, and Mrs. Albright.
We had an awesome experience today watching the eclipse with all the grade levels, 4-year-olds through second grade. They really enjoyed it and just kept saying, "Look at the moon," because it looked like the moon, but it was great. So we enjoyed that. We've had quite a few guest speakers or learning trips happening at Wiley. We had the Barnhill Preserve Wildlife Park from South Texas come in, and they brought a lizard, some type of lizard, something that looked like a hedgehog, and I can't remember the name, so we'll call it a hedgehog, but it was awesome, and a big snake. And then the kids got to take the opportunity to have their picture taken with the little lizard guy, and he was great because he kept looking away from the camera, and she would say something to him, and he would just snap his head around really quick, and then he'd look back away. It was really funny. But the kids enjoyed that. We had second graders. They did an author visit of the author of Too Small Tola, and they each got a free book. So they enjoyed that. The first graders have gone to the bank as part of their IPOS. And we had the zoo come in for preschool as part of their IPOS. So we've had lots of guest speakers coming in and kids learning a lot of cool things.
And what's coming up, Amy?
Big Truck Day.
Best day of the year, Big Truck Day.
Thank you, Amy.
I love it. I love Big Truck Day.
All right, let's have Mrs. Tyne come up and tell us what's up at Holcomb Elementary.
We were also able to step out and take a look at the eclipse today, so that was fun. We had to really talk with them a lot about not looking at the sun without their glasses because they think they're tough when they do that. So we had to talk a lot about that. But I think everybody enjoyed it. They really, like Amy said, we're just oohing and awing over it. So I think that was a great experience for everybody. We are finishing up our state assessments right now. So this last week, we have all of our grade levels testing for math, and then we should be done other than just having those that were gone do their makeup testing. So definitely glad to be nearing the end of that. We are having a few little issues with hallway behavior, and I think some of that comes from just being a lot of testing and things like that. So we're excited about that. And there was one other thing that I was going to tell you guys about, and it left my mind.
So you were staring at the sun without your glasses on, weren't you?
Yes. Also affects memory, apparently. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to interrupt one of the guys if I think of what it is.
And we
So,
had a staff meeting, the central office staff meeting out in front to watch the eclipse. It was cool. I thought it was really
yeah,
cool.
very cool.
Appreciated it.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Helton.
Just a few things for you. Last month I had told you about our evacuation drill. We've had a couple postponements on that. Some have been on our end, and this time the bank had a conflict. That's back on for this Thursday. So hopefully all systems are go for that. Definitely want to make sure we fit in that area if we ever need it. So that is planned to be out going on at 2:05 on Thursday. We will put that out on social media again. Hopefully we don't have to put the retraction again on there. A thank you to our families, our parents. We had asked, that families be mindful of state assessment dates, avoid appointments. During ELA testing over 2 days, multiple grade levels, we had exactly one pull out during the day for an appointment. So that does not happen. So I appreciate the families valuing that state assessment time. That can only help our scores. And then I would just say to all families listening, just keep an eye out on our Facebook pages and for announcements. Working through some things for our staff meeting tomorrow. There are exactly 2 normal days left in the year for the middle school. There's something going on every day, whether it's activities, state assessments, some special assembly. So it's that time of year. So just be on the lookout for updates on our social media and announcements. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tyler. All right, Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to echo a little bit what Mr. Helton was saying about the whirlwind of spring season. For the next 2 weeks, we have one day where kids are not going to be out of the building. So we're having state assessments on top of it, and Red Cross is coming in to do a blood drive, and we have state assessments going on. But then we have like 3 dates of baseball, 3 dates of softball, 2 track meets this week. One of the track meets is kids are gone twice. We have swimming on top of it. We have state large group for our music. Next week we have prom this Saturday. And we just finished up regional and solo ensembles in Dodge City this last week. So our kids are really, really going. We had a Monday morning meeting. We do that once a month. And I just praised our kids that our kids are tough this year. It's just really cool to see our kids, and they attack things, and they're involved in a lot of different activities and stuff like that. But we perform really well on across the board on things. Our regional and ensemble group performed really well on Saturday. Did a really good job. We're looking for state large group coming up next Thursday. They'll compete, and then we host our all-day track meet, middle school and high school, next Friday. So next 2 weeks are going to be a really big blur. And then when you look at after 2 weeks, we only have 2.5 weeks before seniors graduate. And so it is crazy to think we're coming down to the end, and we're putting our testing in on top of it. And this is the spring. And so it's been really fun. But I talked to our seniors today is, you got to, as much as you want to say this last month and a half, you got to find a way to slow down and take it all in, because this is it. You don't ever have these again. And as much as we're trying to push to the end, the seniors especially, you don't ever get this time back. And we don't get this time back with the seniors. And so trying to slow down and take everything in, our last proms, our last high school activities for some of us, our last music contests, they're probably not going to miss the last state assessments and fast bridge testing and stuff like that, but the last time of being in the classroom. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Jerry. All right, let's move to unfinished business and non-resident policy addendum.
Okay, as you will recall, by January 1 of this year, every district in the state of Kansas had to put into play a non-resident student policy, and we did. We got it done. And basically it boils down to, there's two factors that we can utilize now that could filter people out: attendance and discipline. It used to be that plus grades plus do you fit or not. Now it's just those two items. What we discovered is the wording of that came from KESB basically said people from non-resident could only make application in June. Well, society is a little bit more migratory than that, if you will. So we've had multiple people try to come in right now, and we don't really want to open up too deep in each semester because it's difficult then to translate grades and all that kind of good stuff. But it made sense to provide 2 more opportunities for people to make application. They still have to follow all the same rules. So basically what I wrote up an addendum to the policy basically that would allow families to make application for the first 4 weeks at the beginning of both semesters. So I didn't want to put X number on these dates or whatever, because the day kind of floats when we start and stop the semesters. So if you'll take a look at the suggested language here, it says, as long as the capacity level for a given grade has not been reached, non-resident students are also allowed to make application to attend school in Holcomb during the first 4 weeks of each semester. All screening criteria remain enforced during these application periods. So I would recommend that, I do recommend that the board accept or approve of this addendum, so we have a little bit more flexibility. Now, the key part on that is as long as we've not hit the capacity level. So it's shut down if we hit the capacity level. We're not going to let other people apply at that point.
Should there be any kind of exception policy? Some family gets their house burns down or something.
Well, and we already have currently, if they're a patron, they're in.
Right.
It doesn't matter where we're at. But to play that out, could that occur, Ryan? Maybe. It's never happened that I know of. So somebody in Garden, their house burns down, so that triggers they want to be a non-resident student here. I don't see how that's logically related. But could we throw in some phrase of extenuating circumstances? It still brings back the problem, though, of translating grades. The further you get into a semester, the harder it is, particularly at the middle school and high school. Because we've got the English class there versus our English class here, and the fact that we're standards based, it's just not the same systems anymore. I propose we start this way, and then if we want to broaden it with some extenuating circumstances clause later on, if we start seeing that there is an issue, okay. These things are always written in pencil, policy.
I would move that we approve of the proposed addendum as presented.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposed addendum to the non-resident student policy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, educational materials fee for 24-25 school.
This happens on an annual basis. I'll do it more quickly than normal on these kind of things. We're starting the online enrollment process like tomorrow. I mean soon, and so we need to have in place the fee structure. I'm proposing that we keep it the same. No increase, no decrease. It's the same educational materials fee as it was last year. This pays for supplies or curriculum, and also the technology fee is baked into it as well. You have the prices, if you will, before you. It basically boils down to $100 per kid until you have multiple kids. $100 for one kid, $115 if you have two kids, $125 or more if you have three kids. Then it's graduated. If someone is on reduced meals, they pay a little less. If they're on free meals, they pay a little less. So, but this is the same pay structure as last year. I don't think we need to raise this particular fee. So I recommend that you approve of the educational materials fees as presented.
Second.
Casey and Jill. It's been moved and seconded to approve the educational material fees as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, athletic fees.
Now, and once again, this is the same same vein as the other item, this and the next item, frankly, because of enrollment's around the corner. This athletic fees are what we utilize to help offset and run the various programs. In talking to Chad and Bree about this, discovered that we've continually run in the red in these budgets, and we have to supplement from the general fund or LOB. And so I don't know if we'll ever get to the spot where it's equal, because what was Chad telling me? The basketball, these numbers aren't correct, but the idea behind it is correct. Basketballs used to be $35, $40 each. Now they're like $85 each. And same thing with football or whatever. Well, this is used to do this. Okay, so we got to looking at it. And this has not been adjusted for several years, and so I'm recommending to the board the current structure is $45 per student per sport, or $145 as a family cap. Just moving it up a little bit to $50 per student per sport, or $160 family cap. So it is an increase, but our costs of doing business are going up as well. So I recommend that you adopt proposed athletic fees as presented.
Matt, I'll move that we adopt the proposed athletic fees as presented.
Jill
Second.
and Ryan Ruda. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the proposed athletic fees for the next school year as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, sports admission fees.
Think tickets, the gate prices is what it is. These have not been adjusted for over 10 years, so it's time. What you have before you is what it has been for the last 10 years, and then the recommendation, working once again with Chad and Bree on this. Through ticket receipts that we pay for the officials, extra supervisors, timekeepers, scorekeepers, basically running the events. This is what you have to have. You pay people to do these things. So currently, it's $5 for adults to get in. I'm recommending $6. The GWAC as a whole has adopted that amount, by the way. Children go from $3 to $4. Then, of course, we have chosen to create bundles for people. So all sports pass for a family has been $120. I'm recommending go to $145. And if you want to combine middle and high school regular season games, you want to go to everything. All sports pass for a single person, recommending going from $75 to $90. And for the family, go from $150 to $180. Once again, this is just an area of the budgetary world that we run into the red. And so in order to run a more efficient ship, we just need to get a little bit more revenue. So I recommend the board approve of the proposed sports admission fees for next year.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Trivogel and Jill. It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposed sports admission fees for next year's school year as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, disposal list.
All right, this is my 6th year in district, so this is the 12th time we've done this. Basically, things just we quit using certain things at certain times of the year or over time. And so in order for us to discard of anything, the board has to make that approval. I can't just go, hey, go throw away that chair. The board has to, release it. What we've done, the system we've adopted is, you've got a laundry list of items. You'll take a look. And as always, Randy Tyne has the most because I think she just gets the most, I guess. Now she's got a storage area that everything gets thrown into. And so then what happens is the board approves this. Robin tomorrow, the next couple of days, will put out a message to everybody who works at 363 and basically say, if you have an educational or professional use for one of these items, lay claim to it, grab it. And if that happens, great. Then after a little while, we'll send out another message to clubs and coaches and class sponsors or whatever. Anybody want to sell anything, from this laundry list of things? A couple of years back, we sold uniforms. People want certain things. They don't want, like my tree that I've got in my room. That came from this process. Or my frog that I grabbed. Nobody wanted that, but I grabbed it because I've got educational use for it. Ultimately, though, there comes a time where we say, okay, we're done, and then we load up and we go to the dump. But in order for that to take place, I recommend the board approve of the disposal of the district property equipment no longer in use. Now, there's one item on here, it's a vehicle. What we'll do with that, assuming nobody wants to buy it, we'll take that to Purple Wave and get it sold that way. We've had success doing that. So I recommend that you approve of the disposal list.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Ruda and Ryan Shriver. It's been moved and seconded to approve disposal of treasures. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One
All
man's
right.
treasure, yeah.
Yeah. I can't, is that your office chair that we're disposing of?
Nope. You gotta go see it. Caster's falling off.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to new business and enrollment timing.
All right, I alluded to this earlier. We've been working on this for a while. What's prompting this entire thing is the doggone capacity numbers we have to set because it's hurry up and wait. But we can't really know how many spots we have until we know who's coming back. And so we're opening enrollment this month. And so Keisha has been doing test runs with it, and it's going well. We're ready. And so it's just a matter of putting it out there. And so this is no action to be made on this, but just letting you know, we're going to be working in fervor, trying to get as many people enrolled as possible, our current people, including our current non-resident students, because we've used the interpretation of the law the way it's written, that they don't have to make application. And so then we'll know, hopefully, by the end of May, how many spaces we have available in each one of the areas. If you'll recall, I'll read the capacity numbers to you that we got that the board set. Preschool, it's 60. K through 2, it's 72 per grade level. 3 through 5, it's 80 students per grade level. HMS is 90. HHS is 90. And then the specials, 10 to 1 in welding, music, PE, it's 40 to 1. But in order for us to even halfway figure out what space, how many people we can allow in, we've got to figure out who's coming back. So the plan is we open this up in April. We're going to have a night of enrollment, feed people to come in. I originally thought about doing it in late April. I'm thinking now moving it to May because I don't want to confuse people. So we'll have the enrollment time, and then in the May we'll have the evening time. Nothing. So admin will be talking about this tomorrow. I'll be talking with Monica about it because she'll provide the walking tacos for us. We have basically 1,000 kids. If we get 60% of our kids to get enrolled, it'll just be Christmas, right? It just doesn't happen. You just don't get that many people because generally people aren't thinking about enrollment today. They come July, August, hey, we need to get enrolled. The people who think about it are the non-resident folk. So we're sending out a letter to them soon. Rob and I are talking about that this morning. Come May 1, secretaries will start making phone calls. And so we hope, against hope, to know that we now have 5 spots available in pick your area, in any one of these things. Then we've got that entire lottery process that the law dictates that has to be kicked into gear. So we will not fail for lack of trying as far as knowing where our numbers are. And I'm very proud of Keisha and Julie and everybody's coming together making this work. It's in my opinion, a silly law that's for Shawnee County, Johnson County, and Sedgwick County that impacts us because we are uniquely positioned by Garden City. A solid 20% of our student population comes to us from out of district. So there's 2 rules of thumb on this, 2 rules, schools of thought rather. One says, hey, if they were going to come, they'd already be here. They would already be here because we've had open borders for a while. The other school of thought is, they're coming now. Here they come. I won't know till it happens. So, and if you recall, it's open from June 1 to June 30, and then by July 15, we have to run the process, the lottery process, reach out to the people and say, I'm sorry, your son didn't get in because of this reason, or whatever it is. So, there you go. Enrollment is coming.
All right. Let's move to use of school equipment during summer camps and clinics.
Just an annual thing we do as well. Basically, we very active programs, go to a variety of camps and whatnot. Well, sometimes they need specialized equipment, pole vault, pole, that kind of thing. And most kids just don't own their own. And so several years back, the district chose to allow people to check out equipment, if you will. In my time, we've had no issues. None whatsoever. And I don't know of any issues previous to my time. So I'd like to keep this going so as to support our kids. So I recommend the board approve of our students using specialized district equipment during summer camps and or clinics. And yes, they have to apply for it. They can't just walk in and grab a hurdle and take it with them. We have a process in place.
So moved.
Yeah, thank you.
Second.
Casey and Jill. Moved and seconded to approve use of specialized district equipment during summer camps and clinics. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, KASB dues and legal fees.
All right, once again, this is an annual thing that takes place. I personally want us to stay as a member of KASB. The policy that work they do for us is good. That's quality stuff. But what I really utilize are the legal services. That's what I utilize weekly. I talk to Luke about a variety of different things. And so, but they're not dumb. In order to get the legal services, you got to be a member of the club itself. I think there's maybe one, maybe two districts in the state of Kansas who are not a member of KASB. I mean, everybody's a member, good, bad, or indifferent. So I recommend that we maintain our membership and then also renew the legal assistance fund. Now, on the proposals they send us, there are $2 amounts to just be a member. One is for $10,974. The other is $12,724. The difference being they call it a season pass, meaning professional learning opportunities. They're all the way across the state. We just don't utilize them. We just don't do that. So I recommend you take the lesser amount, or we approve the lesser amount, $10,974.20. And then I strongly urge you to stay in the legal assistance fund for $2,750.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Ruda and Ryan Trevogel. Moved and seconded to approve the fees for KASB membership and legal fees for 2024-2025 schools as presented. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, handbooks.
All right. Once again, we had to accelerate this because of enrollment, coming. So what you have tonight is you have each building handbook plus the wellness handbook. The wellness handbook is a accreditation compliance-ish item. We have to have it, otherwise we're not in compliance. And if you're not in compliance, then you become a conditionally accredited. You get on the naughty list, double secret probation, ultimately, even though they're not really figured out what that means. The adjustments in the handbooks, there's really nothing there that's earth-shattering. It's streamlining, getting things in line with our current practices, because we had in Wiley's handbook, it said something about if a kid rides to school on a bus, they've got to ride home on the bus. Well, that's just not what happens. I mean, our society is different today than when that was written. It makes sense. I understand why it was written that way, but we're not going to tell mom and dad, sorry, you can't take your kid, because the policy says you have to. And so basically to be more accommodating to the realities of life. So dates and names of people have been changed. There's really nothing in here that, in my mind's eye, is worth getting fired up over. I mean, it just makes sense. Streamlines things and gets us in compliance with what we're already doing. So I recommend the approval of the various handbooks that have been being presented to you tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Jill and Ryan Schreibogel. It's been moved and seconded to approve the handbooks as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, donations.
All right, we continue truly to be blessed. Our constituents, People in our greater educational community are very supportive of our efforts, and 3-4 times a year we get donations from a variety of different organizations to just to help us out with stuff. This time around, when we put together the agenda, we received 3. Well, then all of a sudden today we got 2 more. So I'll just read this to you. Methodist Church is donating $634 for needed clothing. Pioneers donating $500 to the swim team. Credit Union, we're in a debit card payback thingy, but you have to accept it as a donation. It goes into the general fund, $168. Then Tyson, the corporation, donating $500 for football. And then the one I'm really excited about, $833 for the Horns for Hope food pantry. So this is all a celebration that our people support us in our endeavors. So I recommend you accept the donations as presented.
So moved.
Jill and Casey. It's been moved and seconded to accept the donations as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we'll talk about the Wiley water well.
Yeah, it's the kick in the shin. I don't know why Amy let her well break. It's on her job description. So anyway, it's cratered. It's gone. And so we looked at options of could we drop a new pipe in there or casing or whatever. In the end, all the research basically says no, just dig a well. Just dig a well. Okay. Well, since we still don't know if insurance is going to cover it or not, if insurance covers it, we don't have to go through the bid process. That jury is still out. Okay, so we had to go through the bid process. We had the bid opening today. We'd sent out invitations for people to bid. Received 1 bid from Hydro for $50,000 to dig the well as per the specs we had sent. And then they recommend adding on to that alternate 1 for $3,600 to dig a test hole. I don't know about the law, but the procedure on this is the new well has to be dug minimally 50 feet away from the current one, but not more than 300 feet away, because that's where the water plane is, right? And so I'm thinking, well, we're fine. We don't need to have my knee-jerk reaction was, no, let's not do the alternate. And I got to thinking about it. I was thinking out loud with Garrett, because I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, Scott, are you sure about that? So let's say we go forward without the alternate, and $50,000, they put a hole in the ground and don't hit water. That's a $50,000 ups, so we'd have to start over. So I'm going to be recommending that we accept the bid from Hydro and accept alternate 1. So in the end, it'd be $53,600 to get this done. They'll be able to start the project before school is out. We'll put fencing around it. Obviously, I think it'll be way cool to watch it take place. Personally, better than Big Truck Day.
Perfect.
Let's really make it a challenge over there. Yeah, it's a way big, cool truck. The realities are, our choice is to water the grass or not water the grass. If we're going to water the grass between the time this gets put in or not, our one choice is, 2 choices. We can carry buckets of water over there. Mike's not doing anything else. We can do that, Mike. Or we hook up to the hoses on the outside of the building. That means city water. That's what that means. Yep. And so we were talking about this earlier today, and he had all sorts of technical stuff that I went, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it that way. Bottom dollar, we'll figure out how much do we have to water it to keep it from going dormant or dying. Because if we just don't, it's a long enough period. If it starts to heat up and the wind starts a-coming, we're going to lose that lawn. And so we don't want to do that. We're working too hard on having our lawns up and going and being pretty. So I don't think that's a good option, just to not water it. We've not heard back from insurance yet, but we now have a $25,000 deductible. So even if it is covered, we're going to have out of pocket $25,000, but probably we've got plenty of money to take care of this as far as, if insurance does not cover it. The pump that goes inside it is being purchased separately, and magically it came in under the bid law. Magic, how that happens. So all in, this project is more like $70,000. But what I'm asking you to accept tonight is the bid for the actual digging. And so we recommend, anything to add, Garrett?
I think that's it.
Okay. You taught me well. So what I'm recommending that you accept
want the pump now, though, all together?
It's coming. It'll be here on, It'll all be together when they drop the hole. The pump will be going down.
We don't have to have bids, but don't we have to approve it still?
No.
No,
it'll be part of the warrants.
Okay.
Because it's under the $20,000 mark. So anyway, And we did talk about that as far as the timing of that, but it'll be here in time, yeah.
Garrett not know how to witch for water?
I know how, but I wouldn't trust myself that one.
The 3,600, is that, do they dig till they find water? Or if they dig that one time and there's not water, is it another 3,600?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be if they didn't find it, they'll do another
Well,
test hole.
they can dig that test hole, and they can tell you how many gallons per minute and all that. So,
I mean, it's insurance. We're buying insurance, and I'd rather spend 3,600 twice than another 50,000 to randomly put it. I mean, we're within the specs. We're 50 feet away and within 300. I mean, the water table should be there, but it's an underground cavern. I mean, who knows? I mean, Matt and I were talking about it earlier, and I mean, there's times where it's right here. You go over here just a little bit, no water for some odd reason. You go over here, oh, there it is. You find the water again. So that's it. You know, like I said, my knee jerk was, no, we're not paying the extra. Then I got, okay, hold on. Let's not throw good money after bad. So anyway, I recommend that the board accept the bid as presented from Hydro for the dig itself plus the alternate one.
So moved.
Second.
Jill and Ryan Schreibvogel. It's been moved and seconded to approve the well project for hydro with the alternate as well. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Hey, Garrett, could we bring a big hose or pipe from the elementary over to Wiley?
Well, he's got a plan, and we're hooking.
Got one, so we would actually, for like the athletic fields, we have athletic field sprinklers, and I was able to rig one up where I could water big areas really quick. And what we're gonna do is deep soaks on there, and so we're not watering every day. But when we do water, it's gonna be hour and a half on there, probably a little bit longer. I
So
think.
you're flood irrigating, basically.
Basically flood irrigating, and then nothing for about a week or 2 weeks, just depending on what the weather does.
And
Watch it.
you're welcome to come here and watch the meter just roll.
Well, you know, there's that water well right there at the corner that you can fill water truck. We'll just get him a water truck and he can drive around and.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Might be cheaper to hire somebody to hold the, and use city water.
we're going to play by ear. I mean, and we're hoping for rain as well. We'll be dynamic and flexible.
And we will get wind.
We will get wind.
Yes.
Yeah, there will be wind.
Okay, so now we have executive session. You have no time limit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
15 minutes
Where we're at.
down the
Yeah.
bottom.
recommendation.
Yeah, but it didn't say 15 minutes on mine. Oh, there it is. You wrote it instead of did the numbers. Come on.
It's appropriate to write it out. Spell it.
I know.
And
Jeez.
words that are in one word or two, you're supposed to type them out, Mr. Helton. If it's more than 2 words, then you put 101 for 101. But just a little English edification there for you, just helping you out.
Old English.
Yes, you're right about that.
Okay, so I need a motion to go into executive session for 15 minutes with Dr. Myers,
Julie,
Julie,
and principals as needed.
and principals as needed for 15 minutes. Let's do it at, all right, don't want to throw a loop at you, Casey, or just go.
I don't
Let's
care.
go in at 7:55. How about that?
That works.
Hardest part of the meeting
So
always
moved.
is figure out when to go to executive session.
Jill and Casey, moved and seconded to go into executive session for 15 minutes at 8:55. All those in favor say aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, we are back in session. I need a motion to hire, let me get there by the name, Dr. Amasi for fifth grade math.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Schreivogel and Ryan Ruda. It's been moved and seconded to hire Dr. Amasi. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to hire Matthew Schwartz as the Technology Systems Technician at $27 an hour.
So moved.
Jill,
Second.
Ryan Ruda. Moved and seconded to hire Matthew. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to hire Stan Kennedy and Mindy Cornelson for summer hires at $13 an hour. They'll be in technology.
So moved.
Jill and Ryan Schreivogel. Moved and seconded to hire Stan and Mindy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to hire Bree Tucker as the head girls wrestling coach.
So moved.
Ryan Ruda.
Second.
Jill. Moved and seconded to hire Bree Tucker as the head girls wrestling coach. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, I need a motion to hire the remaining supplementals as presented.
So moved.
Jill,
Second.
Ryan Schreibogel. Moved and seconded to hire the other supplementals as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
We need to just wait around about, I think the troupe of dancers will be here in about 15 minutes to do the interpretive dance of Kisa for Dr. Ryan Ruda. You want to just hang, we can just wait a little bit.
That's just for
gonna
Ruda.
Oh, that's just for Ruda. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, that's just for doctors.
I shall dance my way out of here.
That's all I have, Mr. Jones.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Jill and Ryan Ruda. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Wait a second.